Okay. Tell me about your week.
Well, my mother-in-law wanted me to go do her hair, which is fine and all, but she always like lets me know like literally at the last minute. Always, like she can never give me like a week's notice.
Okay.
It's always like, hey, can you do this tomorrow? And sometimes I'm busy, and if I say no, she's gonna get mad at me. And so I went and did that, and it took way longer than it should have. I was there for like 5 hours because she constantly wanted me to like set this thing up or do this other thing, and then we have to talk about all the drama that's going on that she thinks I have information about, but I really don't, and I'm really glad I don't have information about because it's really stressful and stuff. And so that was upsetting.
So it kind of sounds to me like she's kind of using you like an emotional washcloth. Like,
Yes.
she wants to, to vent and all that stuff, and for you to kind of be at her beck and call, and that's kind of making you feel like it's unfair.
Yeah, and I always like leave really drained and stuff.
Okay. During this, do you guys tend to argue or fight at all about it, or is it just her kind of running you over?
It's more the running over.
Okay,
Like, just so much information all at once.
Okay, so afterwards, what are you feeling? Like, are you angry? Are you frustrated? What's the
Frustration, feel overwhelmed,
Okay.
kind of fatigued. And I'm
Okay.
just like, I need to get away and go to a quiet room and just be for a bit. And it
Okay.
takes me a couple days to get back to like normal, happy.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't sound like she's treating you very fairly.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to stuff like this, I think one thing that we can do is try some breathing technique. Okay. What this is going to do is it's going to kind of help you remain more even and hopefully retain some of that emotional energy that she seems to be sucking right out. So
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll breathe in through our nose,
Okay.
slow, and then out through our mouth like you're blowing out a birthday cake, but very slowly. We'll do it again. We'll do it one more time just for funsies. How are we feeling?
Much better. It is full reduction.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the goal, isn't it, to feel better?
Yes.
So with that in mind, I've got here sort of a little worksheet that I put together that might help with this situation with your mother-in-law. A lot of times we use this for when somebody is responding in like an angry sort of way. But I think that it can also work whenever you're just feeling emotionally drained. It's called the GIVE technique. And what we're seeing here is it's a little acronym or an initialism. I can never remember the difference between the two. Where our response is going to be gentle.
Okay.
We're going to act interested.
Interesting.
We're going to validate.
Validate.
And we're going to be easy. Use an easy, gentle manner whenever we're doing this, because you're a little bit flustered when you were talking about it, and it's easy to see that somebody could get flustered whenever they're dealing with that situation.
Okay.
Especially if it's taking 5 hours to do a hair color job.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's think about gentle. What does gentle mean? When you're responding to somebody.
Okay. Just kind of like calm and don't like respond to anything with any like sudden like emotional outbursts or
Sure.
anything.
Yeah. No outbursts. What about interest? How do you show interest in what somebody is saying when you really may not be at all interested?
Eye contact.
Sure.
Maybe like asking questions or like, oh, how was that? Did you enjoy
Yeah.
it? Just trying to, even though I don't care.
Right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you want to be interested in what they're saying to kind of help smooth things
Yeah.
over, because what people that I hear sometimes will say, well, why don't you just cut these types of people out of your life?
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done, especially when it's somebody that you're kind of forced
Right.
to spend time with. You don't
Yeah.
you don't really get to choose your in-laws. So whenever we validate, that's going to kind of be our big one. And I want this to apply to you too, because it's okay for you to feel upset or frustrated
Mm-hmm.
with this. And that's what validation is all about. It's not about saying that somebody is right, or that it's okay for her to use you as her mop,
Yeah.
so to speak. But it's to let somebody know that you know, if your mother-in-law is having frustrations, that it's okay to be frustrated.
Okay.
You know, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be angry.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not so much okay for somebody to roll over you like a steamroller. Okay, and it's my goal that whenever we get through this, that what'll happen is you'll be able to sort of use this, because if you're going to have a conversation with her, because you know, us talking isn't going to change her.
Right. Or
Cool. So us having a conversation is not going to change her. So what's gonna happen is we're going to have this set up to where you're going to have a conversation with her about it.
Okay.
And unfortunately, there's a chance that it could blow up. You know,
Mm.
when you set a boundary with somebody that's, it
Yes.
sounds like not a, you know, I know that a time or two ago you said that you guys have been married for something like forever.
yes.
Um,
Most of that.
So through all this time, it doesn't sound like there's ever been an appropriate boundary set. And what happens is when you set a boundary with somebody that is not used to that, then it can cause, you know, sort of this
Like-
frictiony,
Yeah.
you know, does that sound like something that she would
Probably so.
do? Okay. So we're going to validate that. We're going to
Okay.
say, hey, look, I get it. You know, I know that I'm, you know, usually pretty open
Right.
to doing whatever, you know, you need me to do, but, you know, there's going to be times where I literally can't. And it doesn't
Yeah.
feel fair to me. It doesn't feel fair to me when it's almost like I'm being made to feel guilty about this.
Yes.
You know?
I do.
And so and your guilt is valid too.
Okay.
You know, nobody should be made to feel, no one should feel guilty if they literally can't do something. You know,
Right.
and I know you said at the beginning that she's trying to ask you to do these things last minute.
Right.
But if I'm not mistaken, last minute in your book
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, no warning. And
Right.
you know, if it was just a hair color job, you know,
Yeah.
that might be a little bit different. You know,
Right.
you might be able to just say, okay, you know, whatever, I'll go
Yeah,
color the
it's
hair and
fine.
then I'll leave. But it sounds to me like she's
It's an all day event.
right.
usually.
You know, I don't know a whole lot about hair, but I don't imagine
No.
that that's an all day
It is not.
sort of job. And then our last thing here is going to be this use a gentle manner. We're
Okay.
going to want to, and this kind of goes along with the G at the beginning. You know, both use gentle, but we do want to be easygoing. We don't want to let them roll over us. We don't want to be harsh and abrasive with them either. So
Right.
we want to be sort of assertive in this and make sure we use our I statements. So
Okay.
let's try one of those. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna try an I statement right quick. So let's pretend that I'm your mother-in-law with
Okay.
a goatee now.
Okay, yes.
And what we're gonna do is I have just called you up
Okay.
and said, hey, I need you to come color my hair.
Okay.
And this is on a Saturday evening
Yes.
with no warning, and you had plans.
Okay.
So worst case scenario, right?
Right.
Okay. So let's try that. How do you respond?
And I could say, I can totally color your hair tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
I already have plans tonight, but I have no problem doing it tomorrow.
Okay, but I really need it done. I've got a church thing that I've got to go to.
Well, okay. So I would be like, oh, I'm really sorry. I really wish you would have let me know yesterday.
Right.
And we could have done it this morning or something. I can still do it tomorrow.
Okay. So that was good. The only thing that I would change about how you phrased that
Yeah.
was you said, I wish you would have let me know.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's a true and that's a valid, and it sounded pretty interested in all that, like you're trying to
Right.
express this interest. Unfortunately, whenever we throw the word you
Yeah.
into one of those sentences, it makes the other person feel attacked.
Ah, yes.
Like they're being kind of
This is your fault.
right.
Gotcha.
And while it may be her fault that she didn't do that, nobody wants to be told that they were at fault or wrong.
That's true.
You know, nobody wants to be the bad guy,
Right.
right? So instead of saying, I wish you would have let me know, maybe we could rephrase that as, I wish I would have known yesterday.
I wish I would have known.
Just leave her responsibility out of it entirely, because it doesn't sound to me like that's something she's used to.
Right.
Is being responsible
Yeah.
for
Those things.
those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, this give, little
Okay.
technique, okay?
Yeah.
we want to, again, be gentle, be interested, let them know that, you know, and in the case of our situation just
Yeah.
now, a way that we might validate that would be to say, hey, you know, I know that it's frustrating to not look the way you want to when you
Right.
have to go to a church sort of thing, especially if this is a person that cares about appearance as a whole
Yeah.
lot. You know, so that's where we're going to go, and then the use of an easy manner, you know, just calm.
Yeah.
You know, if she blows up and says, well, you always do this,
Right.
you know, well, you may say, well, you know, you're right, unfortunately I don't have that opportunity right now, I can't do it. So let's we'll go back a little
Okay.
bit, and I want to hear from you what you're thinking about this GIVE little acronym.
I think it'll be really helpful, actually, especially in situations like that where I feel like last minute things that I'm kind of pressured to do that I don't really want to do. Kind of
Okay.
give me kind of calm down a little bit and not get all anxious and worked up about it in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Just kind of think about it. How can I handle this without getting upset?
Okay. I mean, it sounds like it's absolutely upsetting
Right. Yeah.
when all that's going on. So with that, what over the phone? How could you do that over the phone?
Over
How
the
could you act
phone.
interested over the phone? Because
Oh.
saying no to somebody face to face is
Yeah.
a lot harder, and it sounds to me like she's calling you or texting
Yes,
you or
so
something.
much. I could, I can ask her about, oh, what is your church event? What do you have going on? Tell her, well, that's really interesting,
Okay.
and wish her well in her church event.
Wish her well,
I don't
right.
know that she's doing, but
Okay.
but set up a time that will work for her and me to do
Right.
it.
Right.
And maybe plan future times that are set that I can do her hair. That
Yeah.
way I know when she knows, I know when she needs to have it done, she knows when she needs to have it done, and we can get on the same page.
That seems good.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, you color your hair every so often.
Yeah, about
Okay.
once a month.
So, yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good. You know, you set a day of the month
Mhm.
that would be a good
Yeah.
time for that. But this boundary setting and being calm and all that is going to be really important to preserving this sort of awkward
Right.
relationship, because it will be a little bit awkward
Yeah.
after this is set up, which is okay.
Okay.
You know, again, it's valid. It's okay to feel awkward.
Yeah.
It's okay to not feel like I'm doing something wrong. You know,
Yeah.
you're not, but it's okay to feel that way.
Okay.
Just try your best not to beat yourself up, and remember that you're a human too.
Yeah.
You know,
good
and
advice.
that's okay. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and wrap up, and hope that our viewers enjoyed this.